Well, folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast. We have seen a little bit of scattered thunderstorm activity across the state, but it's been very widespread over this last 7 days. And this is starting to be concerning as this trend over the last couple of weeks has showed a broad base of Nebraska has seen below normal precipitation, with the driest conditions really in that area south of Interstate 80 from the southwest all the way through south central Nebraska and a couple pockets of east central Nebraska. The best locations for precipitation in this last 2 weeks have been basically around the metropolitan area of Omaha, right up along the the South Dakota-Nebraska border, and then some isolated pockets in the Panhandle. Now, as we go forward in time, the models are increasing their likelihood that we are going to see this ridge reestablish itself and rather firmly for the next 10 to 14 day period at the bare minimum. And of course, with these below normal precipitation tendencies the last couple of weeks, the concern is as we go forward that this will start to become problematic. Hopefully we won't endure some of the same situation that developed last year where once the precipitation shut off, it had shut off pretty much for the remainder of the growing season, and we will get some timely rainfall before at least the corn crop starts to come into pollination as we get toward the middle of the month. So let's see how the models are going to develop during this next week. It does look to be hot, and as we go to the upper air models, what we are noticing is we do have a trough rather weak in the Pacific Northwest, and it's not strong enough to beat this ridge down and progress toward the east, so it's going to ride up over top of this ridge. So we're going to see very warm conditions today. Winds are going to have a southerly component. The humidity levels will be up. There is that chance for scattered thunderstorm activity. Most of it's going to occur during the late afternoon and through the overnight hours into the early morning before it dissipates. And as we get into tomorrow, we'll notice that that trough is lifting up. The ridge is trying to push back into our region. Again, we're going to see very warm temperatures, and the best opportunity for thunderstorm activity will be across extreme northern Nebraska and some isolated spots in the Panhandle. Much lower tendencies as you get toward the Kansas border. As we go into Monday, we'll notice that another trough tries to build into the Pacific Northwest and will bring up some moisture from the Gulf. So again, we have a chance for scattered thunderstorm activity, and some of that might occur in southeastern Nebraska, but it still doesn't look like broad-based coverage. Now, as we go into Tuesday, we'll notice that mean energy starts to slide across the Canadian border, so that will push the ridge down slightly, and we'll see a little bit of cooler trend, a few degrees, nothing major. And again, we'll just have a slight chance for thunderstorm activity, but it looks like most areas will remain dry. Now, as we get into Wednesday, that energy starts to lift in over to the Great Lakes, and it's going to dive down and form a trough to the east of us, and that's going to push this ridge from the central Rockies into our region. So we are expecting the coolest temperatures on Wednesday with just a chance of scattered thunderstorm activity in the northeast, and then here comes the warmth. And it looks to be a very warm, dry trend for the remainder of the period. And as we get into Friday, we'll see that high continues to push into our region. So our temperatures look to be rather crispy. The best chance for thunderstorm activity within the first 4 to 5 days of this forecast, and that will be scattered. And then as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, we'll see the heat dome in place, the cool conditions in the Pacific Northwest. In terms of precipitation, this is the scary part. Below normal precipitation centered right over Nebraska.